Welcome to the Positive Pants Podcast. Mindset, motivation, and inspiration to help you find your positive pants. Let go of negative thinking and stop living for the weekend. With your host, Fran Excel.
So welcome to the show. As always, it's Fran Excel Mindset Coach, helping you find your very own pair of positive pants so you can get out of your own way and live a life that you love. Thank you so much for joining me. I'm very grateful you've chosen to put me in your earbuds today. Please do hit the subscribe button so you don't miss anything, and do leave me a review. I love reading them, and it really helps me get found by other people who need to hear what I share. I'd also love you to email me your mindset and productivity questions or topics you'd love me to cover to hello@franexcel.com, because I know a lot of you think I'm inside your heads because you tell me all the time. But if I don't know what you need, I can't give it to you. So let me know. Hello. I am so flipping excited because the glorious Lisa Johnson is back in my realm, and we have got a little treat for you today. Hi, Lisa.
Hi, I like being called glorious. I'm going to keep that.
I call everyone glorious. Don't think you're special.
Oh.
You're very special. Now, I have been working with Lisa over a lot of lockdown. And a lot of this work has kind of, and I've talked about this a little bit on episodes before, has forced me to look at my entire business model and things that I was doing. And there's a little bit of burning down the house going on, which is great.
I like burning down the house.
But this is the thing, it's like, and I know, because I know a huge amount of clients come to me around these fears of making big changes and stories of what business should look like, and the fear around making big changes. So I wanted to bring you back on because I've been talking about this a lot. And the main reason that you are so glorious, you genuinely are, I've taken like pretty much all the big courses that you can think of, particularly back at the beginning of my journey. Shiny object syndrome was strong in this one, which is how I know how to spot it. But I've just been through the one to many course, and it is literally a game changer. And if we're honest, because I've been working with you and your VIP clients, we've been friends for a couple of years now.
Yeah.
And I was messaging her going, damn you sucked me in.
That's what I like to do some voodoo magic and suck you in.
Yeah, but this is something where you have literally thought of everything. Now, what I would love for you to do, first of all, before I go a little bit more in depth in this, is talk to us about what One to Many actually is and how it ended up becoming such a big thing for you, and how it's really changing the face of business at the moment.
Yeah, well, for me, it's funny you were talking about how people, you're burning down the house, people are changing things. Well, for me, that's what started it all, because I had this business that seemed like the perfect business. It seemed so successful because I was fully booked, and people say, oh, you're so successful. I was feeling like crap, and just like working from 6 a.m. till 11 o'clock at night, feeling very unsuccessful, because who wants to do that in their own business? And so I had to really rethink my whole business model and say, well, actually, this isn't what I want to do anymore. I want to make sort of like semi-passive income. I want to do courses. I want to work one-to-many rather than one-to-one, because I want more time back to spend with my kids. I don't want to be doing this the whole time, every day. All I was doing was one-to-one. And so I started learning everything about, like passive income streams and all the different ways you can do things, especially courses and memberships, because they seemed like something I could do, and changed my business to 90% passive income. And it went from 220,000 in year 2 to $1 million in year 3. And it was because I changed my business model, and it was terrifying. Like, let's not pretend it wasn't. I had to change everything. I had to let one-to-one go and start doing what I really wanted to do, but it was worth it. And then when people started asking me how I did it, I started teaching them like how they could do it and have an actual business model that's designed around the life you want, rather than what everybody's told you to do all the time. People were saying things to me like, well, you can't do one-to-many straight away. You can't do courses and memberships straight away. You have to do one-to-one for 5 years first. And I was like, but I don't want to. Why do I have to? I don't want to. And so I didn't. And now people come in who are my clients and they actually start with the business model they want, which is one-to-many. And so this course came about because the way I learned how to do passive income was, first I did a course on how to do a course, and that was great, and I learned how to write a course. And I was like, oh, but I can't, who do I sell this to? And so now I need an audience. And so then I did a course on how to grow an audience organically, because I didn't want to use paid ads at that point. So I did a course on that. I was like, this is great. So now I've got my audience, I've got my course. How the heck do I launch this thing? So it's like, oh, I'm going to have to buy another course. So I bought a course on how to launch really well. And then people started leaving the membership, and I was like, oh my God, like, how do I retain the members? Like, and remarket this over and over again. So I bought another course on that, like, retention. I kept buying that. I bought another course on how to do like a sales page. I was like, this is ridiculous. Like, yeah, I felt like I needed always a bit more information and a bit more information. And so I thought, well, now I've added all these income streams in. Some of the things from these courses have worked. Some have really not worked. Some are just too cookie cutter and they didn't suit me. So I decided to write the ultimate passive income program. Now I knew it couldn't be a course because there's too much in it. And like, if I just left people to go and do it, they wouldn't do it. They just wouldn't do it. And so I thought, right, well, instead, I will put everything into it right from the beginning of, you know, I want a passive income business. How do I grow an audience? Right the way through to launched it, made some money. Now I want to do it again and again and again. And the first couple of times we did it, there were, you know, people got results, but, you know, people were making 20 grand, they were making 50 grand. Some were only making 5 grand, but that was still like 5 times what they put into it. But not everyone was getting to the end. And so we went back and we were like, why aren't you getting to the end? Because I don't want this to be one of those courses where people do a course and they never finish it. And so they were like, well, a few reasons really. One, the tech is too hard. Like, the tech is, we're struggling to do a sales funnel. Yeah. And so we were like, okay, well, we can fix that. So I brought in a team of people who could make them a sales funnel, like bespoke to them, not like a cookie cutter one. And so then more people started getting to the end. And then people were like, oh, I'm just a bit of a procrastinator. So it's like, we can fix that. Put accountability pods in there so people have to do the work. And we've just like changed it for the client rather than changed it for us. So it's been through all these revamps rather than what's best for us. The whole time I was thinking, what's best for them? What's going to get the result at the end? Because with any kind of passive income, I think it's really important that the first time you do something in passive income, you work quite hard. Well, you know, you work really hard. So you make the passive income the second, third, fourth, fifth time you put it out there. You can only put it out there the second, third, fourth, fifth time if you've got loads of testimonials from people saying, I got the results. So I knew that I needed to get these results. And that's why it's become the known course for courses and memberships and group programs and workshops. And people are all getting results from it. And that was really important to me.
Yeah. And this is the thing, and this is why I love having you on here, because I mean, any one of my listeners knows I don't recommend people freely, and I don't talk about kind of courses and things like that unless it's something that I really believe in. And I have never seen someone actually care so much about people getting the results. And that's the thing. And what I want this to show people is 2 things. Number 1, passive income exists. And you can have, and you can have the business that you really want, because one of the biggest problems that people come to me with is that they've started setting up a business based on what other people do and what other people say versus what's actually going to be in line with them, because there's so much that goes into this. It's your values, your childhood traumas, your belief system, your conditioning, all of this stuff goes into things. And it's like, I know you've tried to persuade me to do the Facebook thing more and more, but it's just not in line with, it's not me. And this is the thing, is like, I would get so far into a course and then be like, oh, for fudge's sake, it's the same old stuff again. And it doesn't fit with me. It's not in line. And the thing that I think that you prove to people is not only how great passive income is, but also that you don't have to do things the way people say. Most people, most of some of the big players would probably look at you going, why are you giving so much away?
That is always what happens. They tell me that too.
Yeah, but this is the thing, it's what's important to you. Is it dollars versus results? And this is something that I know people in my audience will 100% resonate with, because it's that thing. It doesn't sit right with most people to just chase the pounds and know that only 11% of people are probably going to get through it.
Which is
If
awful.
you're
And
lucky.
I was taught that too. I had coaches that told me don't give all of this away, give a part of it so that they do that bit and then they'll have to come back and buy something else from you for the next bit. And I was like, but that's not fair. And like one of my major values is integrity. I can't sleep at night. Someone's paid me for something and they're not getting results. And I know we're told loads of times to disassociate ourselves as consultants, as coaches from people's results. And I get that to an extent. I can't get the results for them. They do have to go and do it themselves. But I definitely can make it like the most I could possibly do to make sure they get those results. And I do feel good when people come out saying, that's the only course I've ever done where I've got results from. That's the only program I've ever done where I felt supported. I want that, you know?
Yeah, and it's been, even for me, like actually sitting through it, because I was leading an accountability pod for you as well. So I was like, right, okay, well that's good for me too, because it's going to make me sit through all the live lessons and things like that. And the reality is, it is stuff, some of it was stuff that I'd seen before. Some of it was stuff that I'd heard before in all these other courses, but it was how to shape it to actually what I wanted. And what was amazing for me is to see people still showing up live on the final calls.
I know, I love that.
It's like, I mean, we've been around long enough to know how rare that is. And I kind of think like, I just want this to show people, because I know there's a lot of my listeners out there going like, I want this, but I can't do that.
Yeah, it doesn't have to be that way.
Into the stories that we tell ourselves around what business should look like, what gurus that we follow tell us we should do, and how it just doesn't really fit, you know. And you know, and particularly like you touched on earlier, what order it should happen. All the shoulds.
There's too much should. And I remember listening to people like Gary Vee at the beginning. You know, you get these gurus and you sort of like the way they talk. And I liked how he was. But he was all like, you have to hustle all the time, like this hustle mentality. And so I was like, right, I'm going to do that. And then I did it. And I was like, I'm not finding this fun. Like, I thought business was supposed to be fun. I know that it's going to be a bit of hard work, but I don't want to do things that don't feel right to me. I just don't want to. And one-to-one didn't feel right to me. And hustling didn't feel right to me. And all these things were supposed to go into, you know, people's Facebook groups and give free stuff like continuously forever. I don't want it. And so I'm not doing it. And I think that there's people like you that say, well, I don't want a Facebook group. And that's great. There are other ways of doing things. There's always more than one way to skin a cat, you know? There's so many ways you can do things. You've got to do the way that's right for you. And I've seen this the most with launching. Like, people are like, you have to launch a course this way. This is the way to do it. That's just not true. There's millions of ways to do it. You just got to choose the ways that you can bring your energy into it the best, that you enjoy the best. Like, I love launching. And I see these people launching going, oh, I need like 3 weeks off now to recover from that launch. I'm like, why are you doing it like that? Do it in a way that's more fun for you. Do it from abroad like I do on a Sunday.
Yeah. And this is the thing. It's kind of like, it's looking at things, right? Okay, what's actually going to work for me? And there's too many people not doing that.
Yeah.
Too many people going like, okay, well, this is the way they say it. But as consumers as well, as an audience, we call it, we see it. If something's not you, it's so painfully obvious now.
You can feel it. You feel sort of cringy and nervy just watching someone do something that you know isn't them.
Yeah. And that's the thing. The biggest message I want to get across to people is you genuinely, you're supposed to have the business that you want to have, not the one that you think you can have or told you should have. Like, you can have the one that you want. It just may take a little longer to get there sometimes. Maybe it's even quicker. But building it based around you, it's always going to be a winner.
Yeah, and let's get rid of this myth that you can have this business that you really want without really doing very much. Because I think people think that about passive income, and it's not true. There's so much hard work that goes into it at the beginning. You'll spend 6 months to a year really working hard, but when you get the results from it, you realise how worth it was, because you've worked for it, you've done it properly, you've built a business that is sustainable and long term, rather than this get rich quick crap that I see out there, where you can probably get rich quick once, but no one's ever going to buy from you again. Like, you don't want that business. You want something that's long term, that's going to sustain you.
Yeah. And that's again why it's so important for it to be actually in line with you, and why I said it again, like one of the messages from the previous episode is, if you get a few years down the line and it's not in line with you anymore, you get to change it. right? So you could be sitting there listening at home thinking, oh my goodness, I've had this business for years, like it makes revenue, but I know there's more and I'm not enjoying it anymore. That's the time to look at something like this. Look at your business model, rip it apart, burn stuff down. I mean, talking of myths, actually, I would love to talk a little bit more about any more myths around passive income that you have up your sleeve.
Oh, there are loads. There are loads. I hear them all the time. Like the one thing that I keep hearing all the time at the moment, because it's a really nice, easy way to sell stuff, is to go, you don't need any audience to make passive income. You don't need any audience to sell a course. You don't need an audience to sell a membership. It's just not true. Like, you need some people somewhere, otherwise who are you going to sell it to? And people are saying you can have a tiny audience of 200 people and you can make hundreds of pounds, and in reality you can do that. Like, I've got a client, you know her, Abby, she had a tiny audience of 190 people and she made 52,000. But if we're going to be completely honest about it, this is a very, very rare thing. This does not happen to all of my clients. Like, most of my clients have to build an audience first and nurture an audience. And so it kills me when I see these people, because I get why that's really like enticing. I would have loved it at the beginning, thinking, oh, well, I don't have to have an audience, I'll still make money and still got stuff out there. But you know, it's the reason you have this podcast, it's the reason I have a Facebook group. We know an audience is important, so why are we lying to everyone? Like, let's not do it, and let's tell people, let's build an audience and let's show them how, so they can.
Yeah, exactly. And that's the thing, it's like having something where you get on that hamster wheel of having to go from course to course to course to course to course. It's this whole thing as well. It's like, it's get out of that time for money. It doesn't mean that you have to completely burn down all your one-to-one and say, right, I'm not doing any more one-to-one anymore. That's it. It's bringing something in slowly that's going to fit better with you. And it's knowing that you can. Because, I mean, let's talk about a couple of the difference, maybe outside of the box passive income, because you've got courses, you've got memberships, but then you've got things like, we've got massive passive income stream of an Airbnb.
Yeah, that's a great passive income stream.
Yeah, I mean, you list it on there, people book in for a week, have my money. Yeah. It's delightful.
Drop shipping. I mean, affiliate marketing is great. Like, affiliate marketing, just basically telling people what you use and then getting some money if they decide to use it too. And you can do that with such integrity because you're using it. So it's a great way to make money.
There's a link in my Instagram bio that takes you to all my favorite products on Amazon. And as long as you're someone who works with integrity and only recommends things that you actually use and that you actually love, then why not? If you're always recommending it anyway, the amount of book recommendations I give to people, like, here you go.
One of my faves is, you know, when people go, oh, can I take you for a coffee and pick your brain? Or can I just ask you a couple of questions? But if that happens to you all the time, think of the questions they're going to ask you, because you usually know it's always the same ones. Make an ebook and sell them that ebook instead. And once you've written it, and you can just like sell it over and over again. And loads of my clients have that. And I think that one of the other big myths in passive income is it has to be about whatever your business is. Like, you are a mindset coach, so your passive income has to be on mindset coaching. And that just isn't true. Like, you've probably seen in our cohort the amount of, you know, people who are doing like sex memberships and like dating things and parenting courses and all kinds of different things like food and fitness and just things that they're generally interested in, and people can make money from that too. We don't have to like put ourselves in a little box and say, this is what I am the expert in this thing and this is the only thing I'm an expert in. You know, we can be interested in more than one thing.
Yeah, and that's the thing, that's another problem that people come to me with is feeling like they have to only be in one. It's like, this multi-passionate thing is a thing. It's like, I mean, it's ironic that I'm wearing this t-shirt today that says dogs on it. I've got a t-shirt that says dogs, books and tea. I'm like, yes, that's me. And one of the things that I want to be, because I've been looking this whole year, because the Positive Pants plan is coming out and it's going to be sold on Amazon, and that's going to be a means of passive income. But I've always really wanted to set up a brand for like super posh luxury countryside dog stuff, because I'm obsessed with dogs. I know, I've got the brand, I've got everything, but this is the thing, it's like, I don't need to bring that into this business, but it doesn't stop me having that business.
No.
And then there's the whole thing of, the more passive income you create, the more you can start to outsource things. So you don't have to think that you're doing it all yourself as well.
No, you don't. And I think you will at the beginning, and then you can start outsourcing things. But this is the great thing about passive income. Like if you think about those people that you know are millionaires and multimillionaires, generally like six or seven of their income streams passive or semi-passive. It's not them doing everything. It's not their time for money anymore. And I think if this year has taught us anything, it's that we need this. Like we can't keep just putting all our eggs in one basket and not diversifying, because look what happens if you do that. Like so many of my clients this year were in the wedding industry, and luckily they'd worked with me to do some passive income streams on the side. And the reason that they're still feeding their kids this year is because of that passive income stream, because their entire normal business dried up. And I just think we can't rely on one business anymore. We have to start thinking of diversifying.
Yeah, exactly. It's been huge this year, and it's actually been incredible to see. I think everybody kind of panicked at the beginning, but then everybody rallied. Everybody was like, right, okay, let's think outside the box here. And it sounds weird to say it was good, but in a way it catapulted you out of the habitual thinking. And anybody that listens to this knows I'm always talking about how 95 to 99% of everything you do is run by your unconscious mind. So if you're thinking a certain way, why would you, unless you challenge yourself, look for another way? So that's kind of what I want this episode to give people, is like, I want people to be on the other side of this, like fired up, going, oh my goodness, I can do this.
Yeah,
like I can actually, I can,
reason.
Yeah, I can do what I want to do. I can find something else. And there is always something else. Always. Yeah. There's also passive income in terms of if you learn trading and investing. There's things that you can set up that there's tons of different ways. Like you say, there's more than one way to skin a cat.
Yeah, there is.
And that's the amazing thing.
And just before I sell one to many, I always do this challenge to get people to really start thinking of passive income streams. And I have so much fun with it, because people they go into it thinking, well, I can't have passive income. What am I the expert in? The whole all that stuff comes up. And then by the end of this 4-day challenge, they know what they're going to do. And 4 people have written to me from the last challenge I did saying, well, I didn't come into your course, but just to let you know, I've made over 10 grand from passive income just from the challenge. And I love that. I think that's a brilliant thing, because it shows that you don't need that much information to be able to go away and actually do it.
Yeah, exactly. It's so often it's just that little tweak in your thinking and your thought process that allow you to actually take that action that is going to completely change your life. And I love that. So talking of the challenge, it's coming up in October. So if you want to hear about it, make sure that you there's going to be a link in the show notes, and I'm also going to put it in my Instagram bio as well. But tell us more, Lisa.
It's going to be really fun. It's called The Race to Recurring Revenue, because what we want is recurring revenue. We want people to be paying you every month so that you don't have this feast or famine thing, because no one can live like that. It's stressful. I don't like stress. So if we want that, there are ways we can get it using passive income. I'm going to take you through 4 days of what can you do your passive income in? How can you get it going? We're going to get started with it. I'm not just going to tell you a few things and then leave you. We're going to get started in actually setting this stuff up, so that even if you don't do any courses or anything, you can go off and do it. I have a system that I've trademarked called Cash System, which is how you make passive income. I'm going to take you through all the stages. So you're not going to be left to your own devices. I'm going to help you get there. And it's completely free.
I love it. And it genuinely is, because I'm the same with challenges. I'll sign up and think, I'll do a little bit of it maybe. It's the only one I actually went all the way through, and I was like, and I was watching. Yeah, and it was brilliant because I was watching, because obviously I'm friends with you as well. And I was like, let's have a look and see kind of what this thing is about. And it was amazing, because passive income was something for me that was really important, because something I talk about a lot is scarcity. And if you're changing from a job into a business, that bit in between where you go from having a regular income straight into feast or famine is enough to shut down a business. It genuinely is. I've seen it time and time and time again. I knew that it was important to me that I was starting things out on the right footing. And I had my mastermind, which this is one of the things that I've burnt down. I had it running, and it was a monthly recurring revenue, But I realized actually I wanted it to be more of a program. So I've changed it. So I've shut it down in its current iteration and I'm relaunching it. So it's still going to be the same kind of passive income. I'm going to know how many people are coming through it. And I'm going to know that probably I'll know who is going to go through it every single time as well, because I'm a personal outreach kind of a gal. But having that knowledge takes away the pressure of feast or famine.
And it's about, and there's nothing worse than that feast. I remember at the beginning going, well, okay, I've got like some money this month, but I have no idea where the money's coming from next month. That's no way to live. Like businesses that are real businesses forecast. They don't play at it. They forecast, they know what's coming in and when. You can only do that when you have a phone revenue.
Yeah, exactly. So this is so exciting. So you guys know about it now, and I'm hoping that from the last few episodes we've talked about, this is going to put fire in your belly. This is going to
make it fun. It's going to be fun.
Yeah, this is the thing. It is actually fun, and you build a community. Like even through the challenge, the community was insane. Like being able to actually go in and ask. It was just incredible. So people, wherever you're at in your journey, whether you're still in your job and you've got a bit of an idea in the back of your head, come into the challenge. If you have been in business for 5 years and you're just not feeling it right now, come into this challenge. That was the other thing that was so great about it. It doesn't matter what level you're at. It was such an inclusive challenge and an inclusive course. It's like you just want to add an extra stream of revenue. There were some big players in there. There were some brand new people, and everybody was in the same boat.
Yeah, so and that's what I love about it. There were people in there that has literally never had a business before, and there were people in there that had already made 7 figures.
Yeah,
it was fun.
I hope you guys are starting to get really excited about this. I will be talking about it more in the coming months. Make sure you click the link and sign up for the challenge, and make sure you're on my email list too, because I'll keep you updated with everything that's going on. I'm so excited for this, and I'm so glad that we're partnering on it, because I think it's going to be, I've never felt this way in terms of there is literally everything you need. The only way you're going to fail is to not do the work. And even with that, everything's
not going to let you.
Everything is in place to make sure you do the work.
Yeah.
All those mindset gremlins, all those wobblies that come up along the way, because there will be a lot, because that's natural. This is why I call them the inevitable mindset gremlins, the comparisonitis, the self-sabotage, the imposter syndrome. We're going to make sure that none of that is there as well. So you've literally got everything you need from the strategy perspective, from the tech perspective, from the mindset perspective, from the community perspective. Like you can't fail at this.
No, as long as you are okay doing the step-by-step work, then you can't fail. You will get there. But it's all step by step, and that's how we do it. We turn business from being complicated into being fun.
Yeah, exactly. And it's at your own pace as well.
Yeah, exactly that.
So exciting. So I'll make sure
wine. Me and Fran do it with wine.
I know this is weird that we're doing this in the morning and I've got a cup of tea.
What's happening?
I know we've changed. But I hope you love Lisa as much as I do. And I really, really urge you, no matter where you're at, even if you're just thinking about having a business, get into this challenge. There is nothing to lose. Do the 4 days. If it's not for you, cool. Just sign up, because you will not regret it. Thank you, Lisa. Is there any final moments that you want to share with everyone?
The only thing I would say is, even if you don't do the challenge, and if you don't do any courses or anything like that, if your business right now feels like it's not working for you, it doesn't feel aligned to you, and you're feeling a bit like you get up in the morning and you're not really excited to do whatever it is you're doing, start putting plans in place to actually change that, because we only get one chance at this. We want to make it count. We want to make sure that you are happy every day and you're enjoying what you're doing. It's not all about how much money you're making. It's about you actually enjoying it along the way. So if you're not, even if you do nothing else, start mapping out how that could change for you.
I love it. That's exactly the thing. That's why I'm always saying that I champion the people that want a little, like 10K a year in extra revenue, right up to the 7-figure businesses.
Yeah.
Because it's not about what anyone else has or thinks you should have. It's completely up to you and your life and what you want to allow you to live the life that you can live the life that you want to. It's so important to me. Like, there's nobody has to settle for mediocre ever.
No, I love that.
Yes, I love it. Awesome. So excited. Thank you so much again, Lisa. I'm sure we'll have you back on in no time, and we will make sure that we get that wine date in. So
Yeah.
everybody, make sure you go to the link in the show notes or head over to my Instagram, DM me if you need to. Let's get you into that challenge and get you thinking about this.
So if you got value from this and you know in your gut that now is the time to step up and start rewiring your thinking and changing things for yourself, then book in a free discovery call so we can work out what needs to happen to get you from where you're at right now to the action-taking success you know you can be. And if you want my eyes and ears on your problems, I work with people one-on-one and through my Proactive Pants Mastermind. So stop waiting for if and when and decide to change things now, because you can. And as always, I hope that was helpful. So any questions, just let me know. And as always, I will see you next week. Bye.